Hello everyone, my name is Chanel Hitchcock and my passion in life is to help you prevent and overcome adrenal fatigue, aka burnout. I have decided to make some very short videos that will help you if you have burnout, and this is the very first one. So here we go. This one is all about the different stages of burnout. Yes, and it's going to be really helpful to describe them so you can see if you can recognize yourself in any of these stages. Adrenal fatigue has 3 different stages that most people go through, with fatigue being common in all stages and getting worse as your adrenal fatigue worsens. Other common symptoms you may have experience include increased anxiety, brain fog, depression, blood sugar and blood pressure problems, pain, insomnia, and weight gain or loss. As your fatigue gets worse, sadly, you're more likely to develop an underactive thyroid or an autoimmune disease, or digestive issues like IBS, or reproductive issues like infertility. Why? Exposure to chronic stress eventually ends up suppressing the function of these very vital organ systems. The beginning stage. During the beginning stage of adrenal fatigue, you'll probably feel a lot more tired. You'll have problems sleeping, and you'll have that feeling of being wired but really tired. You may feel more anxious and sadly be gaining weight even though you may be eating similar types of foods. And getting every cough and cold going around. In this stage, you can still function, but you just don't have the motivation and get up and go that you used to. Let's look at the second stage. During the second stage of adrenal fatigue, your fatigue and anxiety and depression and weight gain, unfortunately, get a lot worse. During this second stage, you're probably relying on caffeine and sugar and eating high-carb foods just to get you through the day. And you most probably are struggling to get through each day. And clients that I've helped in this stage can still work on a part-time basis. However, after pushing themselves to get through a big task or work day or whatever they have to have a rest day to recover. I call the recovery day or a crash day. And I know from working with clients and myself that on the outside, it's hard for other people in their life to recognize that they are struggling, as they don't see you when you're resting or during your crash days. They only see you putting in a gigantic effort to get through whatever you have to. I've had clients say that they feel like they're falling apart on the inside. This stage is where you're more likely to see the development, unfortunately, of thyroid, digestion and reproductive and immune problems. Why? Again, it's because your body perceives that you are fighting a tiger or whatever stress you're facing. And from an evolutionary perspective, it's certainly not time to digest food when you're fighting a tiger. It's not time to heal from a disease when you're in survival state, and it's not time to have a baby. Your body is designed, and your stress response system is designed to keep you alive. And it does that by down-regulating or suppressing the function of those organs to give you more energy to fight that tiger. The last stage, I certainly hope you don't reach this stage, the last stage of adrenal fatigue or burnout. I did 12 years ago because of a combination of stresses that I had in my life at the time. I had trauma from my early childhood, which lowers your stress threshold. I had a chronic illness that was being treated with very powerful medication that was a big stress to my body. And I was a workaholic and perfectionist who had very little boundaries or respect for my own well-being. Sound familiar? I know from working with clients that everyone has a unique set of stresses that has caused their adrenal fatigue or burnout. It can be a combination of trauma from various things that have happened in their lives, or it can be their daily habits of doing too much, taking on too much, overcommitting, being a perfectionist. Or it could be other people, could be their poor diet, eating too much gluten and sugar, or not getting enough sleep. It really doesn't matter what the source of stress is. Your body doesn't discriminate when it comes to stress. It will activate your stress response system regardless. If you reach the last stage of adrenal fatigue, which I did, you won't have very much energy. I had literally none. I was bedbound and could only get myself out of bed to get some food. At this stage, your anxiety is worse, insomnia and immune function also gets worse. You feel like the walking dead. That's if you can walk. If you see yourself in any of these descriptions, then the probability you have some degree of adrenal fatigue is quite high, and I really advise you to seek help by either working with an integrative doctor or specialist who has developed expertise and helping people in this area. You can additionally read my latest book, 3 Months to Beat Burnout, which will give you step-by-step guidance on how to overcome burnout. My book includes a letter to give to your doctor with a list of the recommended blood tests you need to have. Also a list of recommended supplements that will help you. Delicious, easy recipes and lists of foods you need to eat and when to eat. Recommendations of the strategies you need to get yourself out of the fight or flight state and into the rest and digest state. And finally, a step-by-step guidance on how to create the habits you need to beat this thing called burnout or adrenal fatigue. Good luck, and the next video will dive into more strategies on how to beat burnout. Thank you for watching and listening, and take care. This is Chanel Hitchcock. Thank you.